Heyo, Plaidman here. So I'm trying out this bandana. It's weird because I normally wear bandanas for work. Oh, by the way, this is a wonderful shirt my wife got me. Hades. I love Hades. Hercules is probably one of my favorite Disney films. Not my top, but right up there. It's awesome. I love it. It's awesome. I'm actually a little scared when they eventually do a live action of it because I feel like they're going to ruin it, as they've ruined a lot of them, but that's neither here nor there. So what I want to talk about today was Philip Pullman's The Golden Compass. So I just read the book as a suggestion from a friend of mine. She read 2 out of 3 of the books, or almost 2 out of 3 of the books, and is watching the TV show, which I think is on Netflix, called His Dark Materials. No, it's on HBO Max. It's called His Dark Materials, which is the name of the series. So the name of the series is His Dark Materials. And then the first book is called The Golden Compass, which is very confusing because I remember 10 years ago when a movie came out called The Golden Compass, and there was no reference to His Dark Materials. Now, when I start reading this book, I'm a little confused because I understand the concept is His Dark Materials, and I'm kind of curious as to how that's going to pertain to the story. Which, in my opinion, if the author did that well, if they did it correctly, which I hope that Philip Pullman did this the right way. Like, he knew, hey, the name of this series is going to be a big question mark for you. So every scene, you're going to be wondering if this is in reference to His Dark Materials. So I don't know if that's what he did. I don't know. But I will say this. I enjoyed the book. I don't think it's the best book ever. I don't think it's as good as Harry Potter. But I will say this. It came out in 1995. And I feel like I should look up when Harry Potter came out. I should have looked this up. As to compare when Harry Potter came out. Oh boy. Why did I do this to myself? I'm going to use Wikipedia as a source. 97. Yeah. Philosopher's Stone? No. What? Why are they only showing Philosopher's Stone? Wikipedia. The F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So only 7 books. Is Philosopher's Stone the first book? I think that's right. Huh. Okay. It's been a while since I've done Harry Potter. So technically, Golden Compass came out before Harry Potter. And I'm embarrassed to say, but whatever, I never read this series at all as a kid. I didn't even know about it until they were going to do a movie. And all I remember is that I saw the trailer for the movie and I was like, oh, that looks cool. I never saw it as far as I recall. And I remember it not doing well. And they never did another follow-up. And it was Daniel Craig and Nicole Kidman, who, now that I've read the first book, I'm like, yeah, no. Younger Daniel Craig and younger Nicole Kidman would have been really good, perfect casting for the two. I mean, spoilers, but the book's like super old now. Wow, it's almost 2005 would be 10 years. It's almost 35 years old? No, that's not right. Dude, this is the problem that with being, I was born in 87. So when I look at 95, which is when Golden Compass came out, I have to do the math. I'm like, so 2005, 2015, and then 2025. So it's 29 years old, this book series. I feel like I'm doing the math wrong, but like I think that's correct. Anyways, whatever. It's an old series, so yeah. Hi, Embers. This is my wonderful cat, Embers. Hi. It's okay. Sorry, she's very shy. Anyways, so the long and the short of it, I mean, I feel like you should do your own research on it, but the book is good. Honestly, while reading it, I was telling my wife, because we're expecting right now, we have a baby boy on the way, that if we had a baby girl, this is definitely a series that I would love for her to read, because it features a girl, and she's the main component in the first book, which is what we're talking about. And for the record, I haven't seen the movie or the show or read any of the books, so it's just about this. And it's great. It's this fantastical world where everyone has what they call a demon, which is effectively an entity that can change form to be all sorts of different things. And then when they get to maturity, they settle on one thing. And in theory, that one thing is kind of like a copy of what you are. Like hey, this is a representation of you. Which is kind of a cool thing that they reveal a little bit later. There's some wonderful characters in here, and it's clearly told through the lens of this young girl, this 12-year-old, which I would argue is more of a mature way of telling a story than how Harry Potter did it, which was kind of like the fly on the wall. So you're just experiencing these things, and you're not necessarily getting into the minutia of their individual thoughts and, well, you are, but don't get me wrong. I like Harry Potter. It's great. I read the crap out of it when I was a kid. Like, I was totally a big fanboy. I think this book is good. I don't think it's great. I think it has some kind of fundamental issues. But I give it so much credit for telling this beautiful story and doing such a good job of it, because I'm looking at it through the lens of something I would read to or read with my like 6 to 8 to 10 to 12-year-old daughter. Like, it's something that I would want to share with her. And so with that being the case, I like all these things, and I think it's terrific. I think it's a kid's story meant for children, and it's really well done. So if you have a child in your life, and that isn't to say that it can't be for boys. I realize that kind of comes across as like, well, boys won't like this at all. I'm a boy. I thought it was good. I thought it was very interesting. There's lots of action-packed moments and interesting things and whatnot. It just happens to be that the main character is a female. But I would also argue that, like, my bias aside, and I'm trying to realize that I do have a bias, that it is something that should be shared in general, like with boys and girls. It just happens to be a female character, and I really should applaud this, because this is back then when there wasn't all this trans stuff or all this gay stuff and all this other weird stuff. So it's a very down-to-earth book series, book that I've only read the one book, that seems to be really well placed and really awesome. And frankly, I'm happy. I'm very happy that they made it. I'm very much looking forward to, I'm going to read the rest of the books, and then I'm going to do the movie review and then the TV show review. I'm going to try a new thing after this series where I watch the prospective movie or show first and then do the book review, and then consume the book afterwards. I already committed to this, but I want to try and see if it's any different. Anyhow, yeah, so frankly, the short of it is definitely worth a read. I can't speak to the show or anything, but the book is worth a read. If you have a young child, I think it's worth doing the audiobook. The one I listened to was terrific, which I think was the main one. It was terrific because they had different actors doing different voices and different stuff, and it felt very immersive. So what I would suggest, which is what I've suggested a lot, is either get the audiobook on Audible, like pay for it, or get the free app. There's Libby, there's another one, not sponsored by any of these people, but get it and listen to it, because otherwise, what are you going to do? Just listen to Shark Attack, Shark whatever, Baby Shark all the time, or whatever. It's like, no, like, find things to listen to with your kid. Right now, my wife and I are listening to, because she's pregnant, we're listening to Chronicles of Narnia. And I've never read it, or haven't in a long, long time. And we're kind of doing that as a way of like having something that we can share, my wife and I, plus with our kid. Because I think it's a good series. And we listen to all sorts of stuff. And music's wonderful and amazing. But yeah, I will say this while I'm talking about that is my wife found, you know, you probably heard your pregnant wife is like, oh, you hear all this stuff. Classical music is the thing to listen to, yada, yada, yada. And that's awesome. My wife was like, yeah, I don't really want to listen to like Bach and Mozart and all this stuff. So she started listening to movie soundtracks. And it was so awesome. And it's so interesting. Got in the car and I was like, oh, I know what that is. I know what that is. And it was such a cool way for my wife to effectively modernize, but also find her own workaround to this, you know, having classical music, because you don't want your baby listening to like WAP and other or rap music or stuff like that, or even some country and pop music. It's just not ideal. And it was so beautiful to have my wife come up with that solution. So anyways, just want to share that with you. I'm going to do another video on another book I also finished. I'm a little backlogged, Thanksgiving and all that. So I love you all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye now. Bye.